Hello and welcome to Life Without Shakers. You join me today outside the Butterlip Howe Youth Hostel in Grasmere for another journey around some of the central fells in the Lake District. It's a longer walk today, about 18 and 19 miles, but similar to the last walk, it's a bit of a walk of two halves. The first bit is a lot of fell bagging. The second bit is a lot of miles trying to pick up a random outlying fell. Today we have a 4 or 5 mile stretch out to Rigg, from where I'm going to head up to Sergeant Man and High Raise before tracking back to Pavey Ark and Thunnacar Knot before traversing the arc of Piker Stickle, Loughrigg and Harrison Stickle, better known as the Langdale Pikes. From there it's a descent down to New Dungeongill, then a long old trek along a stretch of the Cumbria Way to pick up that annoying outlying fell, this one being Loughrigg Fell. And then I shall retrace my steps back to the youth hostel via Silver Howe. It's looking like a pretty decent morning for walking, so let's get some high fells done before the weather changes, if it does. Just over 3.5 miles in now, and finally got our first glimpse of today's first objective. That is Rigg, dead ahead. Oh, it's a bit of a trek, but hopefully now I'm on the summit of Wainwright number 8 in book 3. This is Rigg, 1,776 feet. I say hopefully because it's a bit of a maze trying to navigate this fell. No obvious summit at all. But if we go any further, I'll be on the climb up to Sergeant Man, so this is as high as I'm going to get on this fell, I think. So this is what I'm calling the summit. Wainwright says, although Rigg is traversed on the popular ridge walk from Silver Howe to Sergeant Man, it gets little attention and the cairn is often passed unnoticed. The rough top, however, with its many outcrops and small towns, is entirely attractive, the serrated top of Blea Crag worthy of a cautious visit. Certainly a nice view of Stickle Tarn and Pavey Ark, the Langdales beyond. That's all to come. Now, this might be the summit of Sergeant Man, 2,414 feet. Wainwright number 9 of the Central Fells and number 80 overall. Wainwright says the fine view is robbed of all-round excellence only by the tedious and extensive slopes of High Raise between west and north. It's a view of mountains almost exclusively, not of valleys. The most striking scene is that southwards, where Pavey Ark and Harrison Stickle rise starkly against the background formed by the Coniston Fells. Okay, going to call that, onwards to High Raise. Right, hopefully this is now Wainwright number 10 of book 3, High Raise, 2,400 feet exactly. Where it says High Raise is often wrongly referred to as High White Stones. High Raise is the name of the fell. High White Stones is the name of a small area of great walls which includes the summit. Right, having been thoroughly confused by this book so far, I'm going to head to hopefully more familiar territory, off to the Langdale Pikes. Is Langdale's biggest cliff, in an area where crags and precipices abound. Here is the giant of them all, and scenically it is the best. It really is a magnificent scene. Okay, onwards to Knot. This is Knot, 2,351 feet, Wainwright number 12 of the Central Fells. From north and south and east and west, Knot is completely unphotogenic, and the best that any illustration can produce is a slight roughness of the slowly swelling curve that forms its broad summit. This uninspiring characteristic extends to the whole fell, which is quite deficient in interest. Oh well, that's why I included Pictorial Guides as a separate fell. And this is the Langdale Pikes. I'm going to go to the right first, to Pike of Stickle, then Loughrigg in the middle, finish on Harrison Stickle, before descending back to the Langdale Valley. And this is Wainwright number 13 of book 3. This is Harrison Stickle, 2,403 feet. I know, after filming that previous piece, I changed my mind. It looked like a long way down, a long way up to Pike of Stickle. and this is Pike Stickle, 2,323 feet, Wainwright number 14 of book 3. I'm glad I went to Harrison Stickle first because it's a bit of a scramble to get up to this summit. Wainwright says the summit is the perfect dome suggested by its appearance from a distance, being circular in plan and bell-shaped with an almost precipitous slopes rising to both sides. Right, off to Loughrigg and then back down to the valley. And this is Wainwright number 15 of the Central Fells, Loughrigg, 2,270 feet, the third and final Langdale Pike. The Langdale Pikes are variously regarded as being from 2 to 5 in number. Crag and Pictorial, often included in the count, have not the distinctive outline of the others and should more properly be omitted, but Loughrigg certainly has the qualifying characteristics. Although it must rank after the two Stickles, Loughrigg is a worthy member of a fine trinity of peaks. It certainly shares the same epic views, that's for sure. However, no time to linger. Still got a long way to go today, and I'm getting hungry now, so I rather want to get down to the valley, get out of this wind and find somewhere to stop for a bit of lunch. Oh, finally made it back down to Great Langdale at New Dunshing Gill. Seems to take quite a while getting down that hill, but I made it, and it's now time for lunch at last. Well, that was a most welcome stop at the New Dunshing Gill Hotel. An added bonus, got to have a pint with my lunch. Still about 8.5 miles to go today, but most of it, thankfully, is gloriously flat. Right, first glimpse of our next objective. That's Loughrigg Fell, just in front of us now. Looks pretty steep despite not being particularly high. And so we come to Loughrigg Fell, 1,101 feet, Wainwright number 9 of the day and number 16 in all in the Central Fells. Wainwright says, of the lesser heights of Lakeland, Loughrigg Fell is preeminent. It has no pretensions to mountain form, being a sprawling, ill-shaped wedge of rough country rising between the park-like valleys of Brathay and Rothay, and having a bulk out of all proportion to its modest altitude. But no ascent is more repaying for the small labour involved in visiting its many cairns. It is a spectacular view all the way around, as is usually the case with these low-lying fells. Windermere stretching away to the south, Grasmere peeking out to the north, view back to the Langdales. Quite idyllic. But now it's time to head back to Grasmere with one more climb to do, that being Silver Howe, just across the valley there. And here it is, the final approach to Silver Howe. And thankfully, coming up from the south side as I am, doesn't look anywhere near as steep as Loughrigg, which I'm quite glad of at this time of day. And the other good thing is, when I get to the top of here, it's only another 15 or 20 minutes back to Grasmere, nearly at the end. And so we arrive, 10th and finally for the day, to Silver Howe, 1,292 feet, Wainwright number 17 of the Central Fells. A lovely name for a lovely fell. Silver Howe is delightful, not because the summit is remarkable, except for the view. The grassy top is indeed the least of its attractions. It is the rough slopes that delight the eye, especially on the Grasmere side, for the intermingling of crag and conifer, juniper and bracken is landscape artistry at its best. And it is, as well as that, a spectacular view over towards Grasmere. Right, it's getting late, so it's time to head back down. And back down on the edge of Grasmere. Naturally, the way down from Silver Howe seemed to take far longer than I was expecting it to, and it's also brought me back in a completely unexpected location. but it is Grasmere, and it is the end of the walk. Long old walk today, 18 miles, 10 fells, but on the upside, I don't think I've got anything longer than that left to do in this journey. A couple of what will be as long, but none that involve going over 10 fells in one day. Yeah, as I say, long old walk day today. Shame I couldn't spend more time admiring the Langdales, but that's the way the cookie crumbled. Besides, it was a bit too windy today to admire the view. Anyway, that's over half the fells in book 3 ticked off now. So I hope you've enjoyed watching. As ever, thanks for viewing, and hope you can join me again next time. Bye.